Thomas, and this here may be tough to you. Snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feta, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's goody, Shellitronnn here, the most spoke, no joking. I'm back out again with a brand new video, and won't bluff. This has nothing to do with football right now, but y'all gonna be seeing a lot more hats out of me. If you're following me on Twitter, you know that I'm about to do a little bit of a change to my hair. So I don't really want to show y'all the whole process. It's gonna be looking like Kodak Black for a minute, or Glock 9. Y'all don't want to see what's going on underneath this hat, man. But that's just about the second most interesting thing that's gonna be happening in this video, because today was basically a walkthrough. You know, we have the preseason game in about 2 days, so teams aren't really doing anything too hard. The guys wore shells today. They had shorts on and cleats, so they weren't doing any kind of live hitting. It was more like, okay, offense, run your plays, and defense, you know, don't do anything too hard, but, you know, still play like you're playing. And defense, run your plays, and offense, we're gonna have them, you know, go through their progressions, go through their movements and everything. They just want to get the movements and just the mechanics down right for when they play on Thursday. There isn't a practice tomorrow. In the season, you know, they have workout, walk through, day off, game day, and that makes a lot of sense. We won't be seeing anything from our number one guys. It's the first preseason game of the year, so we already know how that goes. We're not going to see very much. They already said that Cam will probably only get 1 or 2 actual series. Doesn't really matter, because he's only going to get like 8 to 10 plays before we start seeing Garrett Gilbert, Heineke, Kyle Allen. So we won't really see much of Cam. Probably won't see much of our real veteran guys. They're not going to be playing very much, if at all. Honestly, it's the first game of the year, and I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, okay, but still, there's still a lot of chatter, a lot of, you know, headlines about maybe we're going to see Kelvin Benjamin. Well, I looked at the Bills' depth chart, and the Bills are so bad at wide receiver that Kelvin Benjamin is already their number one guy, and I understand the irony of that. Look, I understand the irony of me saying this, but I say that to say this. We're probably not going to be seeing much of Kelvin Benjamin in the game. I just don't think that he's going to be playing for very long at all. I mean, they might. I mean, they did pick up, what's-his-face, I forgot his name, from the Browns for a 7th-round pick in 2020, I think 1 day after Kelvin Benjamin made his remarks about Cam. So that could be a message to Kelvin Benjamin. But, I mean, he's being marked as their number one guy on their depth chart. So I highly doubt he's going to be getting a lot of reps in this first preseason game. So that's nothing to really worry about. We saw a few good things today, and I know you probably have already seen the big thing, but I'm going to end on that, because that's a little, that was probably the most impressive thing I've seen in camp today. I'm talking about every little thing we've seen, the great pass rushes and blocks from our younger guys. Look, Brendan Mahone, you've been stepping up. I really like what we're seeing from Brendan Mahone. We saw Shellitronnn leave the field early in practice, and he may or may not be ready to go for Thursday. And Coach Rivera said that, if he can't play, we'll try Brendan Mahone. And look, this wouldn't be the first time we have an undrafted free agent guy come in, and, you know, he might be able to produce a little bit. So that's still pretty cool. I think we'll have a pretty good I think our guards are pretty safe. We'll be all right. I'm worried a little bit about our tackles, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because the amount of time a player plays in this first game is a direct correlation of just about how much the coaches have confidence in their game going forward and how much they really want to see these guys play, especially if they want to judge it off of them playing against another team's number 2 guys. Either way, Ian Thomas has continued to impress. I mean, I say it literally every video. Ian Thomas will be a guy whose name you hear a lot this year. He will have a big impact, and he's learning from the best. We have a lot of guys who are really coming up. Deshaun Hall also got carted off the field, but Coach Rivera said that was more of just like cramping and whatnot, so it's not much to worry about. But keep your eye on that, because you don't know if these guys are going to be, you know, playing Thursday and just how much. We want to see how much these guys on our second and third team can really contribute. And, you know, it's one thing to produce against guys who you know. I mean, you're going across the same guy every single day for like 10 days straight. So you learn their moves. You say, okay, this guy's going to probably try to bullrush me this time. He might try a spin move on me this time. When he goes for a swim, he might like tilt his arm in a little bit. And I know exactly when and how to hit his wrist or his elbow or whatever to get him off his game. And you start to learn people's tendencies a little bit. But when you're playing against opponents who you don't know the tendencies, you don't know what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, and you still produce. This guy not only can learn tendencies, but he can react to new things and see things as they're happening in the game and still produce. So we're going to see that a little bit more, and I know our guys really want to make sure that they can impress the coaches Thursday and in the next upcoming weeks of the preseason. So we'll see how they're not really injuries, but we'll see how these guys have been reacting to the heat, cramping late into the training camp in the heat. That's tough, especially on a day where we're just wearing shells and gym shorts. And that point actually makes a pretty good segue, thank you to me. Our backup quarterbacks are going to need a little bit of time to really get into the full game speed and really make some kind of timing, some kind of chemistry with our receivers, because they're getting picked off a lot in practice. Like I said, you're playing against guys, you know the tendencies, you see them, you know what they're looking for. You know that Henneke plays one way, Garrett Gilbert plays another way, so you know if I can probably bait Garrett, but Henneke, he might, you know, if I lay off right here, he knows I'm probably trying to bait him into this, so look somewhere else for a much safer route, and you can get into people's heads a little bit. But I want to see how these two guys really play against competition. Kyle Allen too. You know, I haven't forgot about you, Kyle, but I really want to see how Garrett Gilbert plays and Henneke a little bit, because they play two completely different styles. One's a gunslinger, one's a cautious, let the game come to me, cerebral type of quarterback. Take what the defense gives you, not like a Brett Favre type. So I really want to see how these two play against the Bills and obviously the other teams we play this year. And it's really important for them to get those reps because we know what time it is. Now, there are certain other teams where if your starting quarterback goes down, you may have a little bit of a security blanket, like someone like the Browns, for instance. If Tyrod Taylor gets hurt, worst comes to worst, you got Baker Mayfield behind him. He was pretty good in college, #1 draft pick. You can see how he's doing. He has a lot of weapons around him, so you know you can really, if he has imperfections, you can kind of hide those around those other guys. The Eagles, if the #1 guy goes down, I'm not really, who's the #2? Does the #2 guy have a little bit of a resume? What has he done lately? I'm not 100% sure. Has he beaten any prominent other quarterbacks, prominent other coaches recently? Has he won any awards, any hardware recently? I don't know. You know where I'm going with this. So I really want to see where Garrett Gilbert and Henneke and Kyle Allen are really, where they're at this time in their development, and see just how will they do against live opponents, live comp, against guys who are really trying to get a spot on their teams that we're going against. Like these guys that they're going to be facing are playing for contracts, or they're playing for minutes. They're like second or third string guys who are going to make the 53-man roster, but they're playing for either starting spots, or they're playing for minutes, or they're playing for a spot if they're like a little bit later in the game. And the award for 2 consecutive perfect topic segues goes to me. Henneke got picked off twice by Kevin Seymour today. Look, we're going to need to see a lot more out of him, and Kevin Seymour maybe proving that, hey, that #2 cornerback spot got to be mine. Now, we all are really excited about Dante Jackson, our second round pick, and we know he has the speed. He's a guy who can really impress us in camp and in these preseason games. But Kevin Seymour is thinking to himself, look, I'm on the team too. I can play. I'm in the NFL. This is my job right now, and I ain't going to lose it. So there's going to be a really good position battle there between, will Dante Jackson be in the nickel or really get that spot from Kevin Seymour? We'll find out, I think. And this one last thing, the thing y'all been waiting for. The thing y'all been waiting for in super duper slow motion. Thank you, Bill Voth and OG Collins Media. I want to make sure that I credit the people who I get this stuff from. I want to make sure that I'm always crediting the sources of everything, just in case, you know, someone feels. Anyway, super slow motion. Let's go on the PIP right now and check this out. One time for the one time. This is Cam Newton. You see Christian McCaffrey going from behind him in the kind of a flanker kind of motion there. Looking for a wheel. Can't find that. No one's there. Looking right. Okay. Next read. Good blocking up here. Not really live. Okay. Next read. Okay. Don't like that one. Looks away again. You see that? You see how Cam, he looks, look at his head. He's looking. That read. Let's go. What's happening here? Whoo, wait a minute. Wait a minute. My boy Shaq Thompson did what? My boy Shaq Thompson, he did what? Oh, wait. He threw the ball, right? Okay, but why you do that though? Why you do that, Shaq Thompson? A one-handed interception catch over the middle. Look, all I'm saying is, Shaq, don't get the curly blonde hair like OBJ, but that was nasty. Keep doing that for us, Shaq. Keep doing that for us, if you please, Your Honor. Now, Thomas Davis Sr., I know you said you wanted to play another year. The Panthers will have you. You don't want to end your career on a sour note with the PEDs. Now, there's an easy and a hard way to make sure that your career doesn't end with a PED suspension. I won't get into that, but Shaq Thompson's coming up. Shaq Thompson's really coming up. I don't know why I'm saying that, because I wouldn't mind Thomas Davis coming back to the team next year on a team-friendly deal. But Shaq Thompson's really trying to prove right now, in these first 4 games of the season, it's Shaq time. Big Shaq. And he ain't Shaqing the fool neither. He just Shaqing the fool on that ball. What are your predictions for this Bills game? I'm doing a video on that. I'm gonna do a full preview. I'm gonna go ahead and look at all their camp stuff, look at their videos, look at who their position battles are, and what our matchups will really be. We all know who their starters are, but I want to see what our matchups are gonna be for our number 2, number 3 guys, and do a video on that tomorrow morning. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend, real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.